This man is insane. There's no other word for it. He's loopy and genuinely quite scary. Like, I'm actually quite scared of this man. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen somebody do.
Okay, so the day has now finally come where we can just get rid of ImAllexx, because I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't liked him ever since that whole Slazzo thing happened a little while ago. That was years ago. Puny little nothingness. I sound like such a raging female right now, but it's so true. How dare he? How dare he treat his girlfriend like that? How dare he talk to her like that?
You need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you this royal.
Honestly, these tiny little puny pathetic men, you can't even call them men, they're little boys. I honestly despise, detest. It was absolutely heartbreaking reading through Alice's basically testimony. She uploaded a Google Drive with, it had like 80 plus things in it, had video footage of him, ImAllexx, basically screaming at her, telling her literally to like lie down like a dog.
Thing about you, and this is the thing, and this is why I go round and round in circles. I join call, and when I'm getting, you're talking to me, going, this is the thing, even though now, when it's too late, you admit that you did everything wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good dog, you don't do it. You fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing, because you end up admitting that you up anyway. So it's just weird. And I know that you're going to...
I am not going to be dissecting this, because truth be told, it's very triggering to me. I know that there's a great deal of my audience who will also be greatly triggered. And if you want to go to someone else's channel who is going to dissect all of it, please do so. But it's just not going to be me. I just want to talk about what has happened since Alice has come out. We've had, not new, but prior ex-girlfriend of ImAllexx's who's also written something as well. And I mean, there are explosions going all over the show. We have Inabba's ex-girlfriend who's coming out and saying that he knew it and all of this kind of stuff, which I'm not saying is true. But Inabba's now uploaded this Google Drive, which I found on Reddit, just basically just dissecting what's been going on. But what I can say, because I'm not going to be dissecting it, I will share some clips, of course, is that it's absolutely repulsive. It's disgusting. It's horrible. Anyone who has been stuck in abusive relationships, I would avoid watching and reading a lot of it. And get away with treating women like this is absolutely repulsive. It is disgusting. And I was gonna talk about this a couple days ago, but I just wasn't in the right mindset to do so. But I feel a lot better today. We shouldn't be giving these people platforms. These people shouldn't have platforms whatsoever. A lot of what I've seen in what she's even written on her Google Drive, he would put her down, constantly go on about him being famous and making six figures, and you know, I'm a celebrity. We should just take away his platform.
Massive issues there, and you think you can just ignore them because like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small, because you might not have anything to lose, because your life might be down the drain, but I still have quite a lot that I would like to
He's made videos obviously talking about, you know, drama that's been going on, but in Alice's testimony, pretty much, he would call her all of these things. He would say, you know, lay down like a dog, you shouldn't be alive, I'm going to unalive you. So it's so funny, the pursuit of fame when you're so two-faced and you're a completely different person. We do not need people like that on this platform, and Alice is extremely brave for coming out and saying any of this.
You are crazy. This man is insane.
So of course the internet has gone absolutely wild with this. He's been draining subscribers, as he should, and a lot of what Alice was saying was very linked to real emotional and in some cases physical abuse. So it's not a nice thing to read, it's not a nice thing to watch. I saw a clip of him then apologizing straight after and almost just being like, I'm sorry. And it's so funny how these little boys will do that to women and then basically just come back and try and win you round, tell you what you want to hear, when in actuality this is who they really are.
It wasn't acceptable behaviour
like in any way, shape or form. It was insane. Like, I guess I've just been stuck in that cycle for so long that I felt like I could do no wrong. You know, oh, look at me, I do all this fucking work and I do everything and I try and do this and, you know, just nobody's appreciative. And, you know, I know you appreciated it and I know that you appreciated the effort that I used to put in. And then I just stopped because I had you and you're my girlfriend and we lived together, and the more further we got through our relationship, the less effort I put in.
Like I say, I lost all respect for him back ages ago when he decided to jump on the bandwagon, and actually not just jump on the bandwagon, basically be leading it with like a spear, to do with this creator called Slazo, who I'm not sure is even still on the platform. I'm not quite sure. Basically, his ex-girlfriend came out and said that there were some issues. I can't remember what they were, but all I remember is that ImAllexx then took it one step further and said that Slazo is he is a R word and he did that and he did this, when it turns out that wasn't actually true. So the whole internet basically ganged up, and still to this very day, he's never quite apologized for doing that. He just wanted to be the very first one with the tea and the drama. That's basically it. But what I find really quite interesting about all of that is that one thing I will say, in Alice's document, she states that she was really upset and she told him one night when they were away on holiday, I think, that she was R-worded, and Alex basically turned around and said, shut up, like, why would I want to hear something a bit like that? That's disgusting. You're trying to bring the mood down or whatever's going on. It's just so interesting because he was spearheading this whole entire Slazo movement, like anti-Slazo, let's get him off the platform because supposedly this is what he did when he didn't actually do it. It was a whole thing, and it was a little while ago.
Well, I'm actually quite scared of this man.
There are actually a group, like I just remember a few years ago, there was a whole group of them, and they're like British UK YouTube boys. From what recalling, you'd have people like James Marriott, Memulus, ImAllexx, InAbba. There's other ones as well, it's just that I literally can't remember. But I remember watching a little bit of them a little while ago. And InAbba we'll get onto in just a moment, because I think he actually lived with ImAllexx as a group that lived together. Ex-girlfriend has come out and said that InAbba knew this whole entire time. That's what his ex-girlfriend's saying. And I'm just like, if that's not true, which the girls now backtracked and said that that wasn't what she meant, even though these tweets are very alluding to the fact that he did know. Yeah, that's a really freaky thing to do if she's lying. Like, why would you make up stuff like this when all of this is going on just to be a part of the tea and drama when it's not tea and drama? Do you see what I mean? Like, she's treating it as if it's tea and drama. If what she's saying is not true, she just wants to get in there, which I think is equally absolutely disgusting. Like I just said, I'm sorry, I'm very ranty. But like I just said, so Alice Hez was the person who spoke out, and she said, here's my statement on the situation I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with the platform is. I'd hate to see another woman go through this. Please read the statement first before continuing. I will leave that link down here. I don't want to bring people to my platform, just trigger them and send them on their way. I don't want to be doing that. But if you'd like to go and look at it, of course, please go do so. There was then another ex-girlfriend called Annie, who goes under King Annie, I think. And she basically uploaded a Google Doc. I'm loving that everyone is involved with these Google Docs. I feel like I need to make some of my own just to vent about various different things. I didn't even think about making Google Docs. So she basically came out and she said, my experience with ImAllexx. So she also goes into some detail about what ImAllexx was like with her, which, newsflash, was not very good, and it almost led into physical violence once, but it was a lot of emotional turmoil that was going on, a lot of emotional abuse, which obviously can be just as worse, don't get me wrong. But what she did say is, she said another thing he did was spin his own narrative and twist words. He didn't just do this in the relationship, but he did it in his work and with his friends. It was the main reason why many people stopped talking to him. This is very true. A lot of those group of boys do not speak to Alex anymore. I'm not really in that loop. I don't really understand what's going on, but being a British YouTuber and also like absorbing British YouTube content, I'm aware of these people. before we started to realise that there was even the smallest amount of drama and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he would just make everything so much worse. For example, the Slazzo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was our word, and everyone else got the blame for saying his word. Somehow, the situation went from being guilty of being a bad boyfriend to all of a sudden he's a R-wordist. This was the final nail in the coffin, and I cut all contact with him after that. This is the kind of person that he is. This is the kind of person he's like behind closed doors. This is the kind of person that he is towards his girlfriends. And yeah, he's slimy and snaky. And like I've already said, he gave me the ick after the Slazzo thing. I just saw straight through it. I just knew something was not right. But the thing is that it's never women's fault for getting into situations like this, and I cannot stress it out enough, because these men will literally put on a facade of being someone that they are not, and then weasel you, love bomb you, gaslight you, and get you into a situation where you will put up with thing after thing after thing, and it just gets progressively worse. So for anyone to say, well, how come you're just saying it now, or why didn't you leave sooner? It takes a lot of courage to leave a really bad situation. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if more girlfriends or more people with experience started speaking out. It's because the internet has now realized they may not have wanted to speak on it before because they weren't being believed. Because he is a big YouTuber and he has a very young audience that no doubt would send a lot of threatening stuff to people, which is horrible. But this is one of the reasons why a lot of women, and, you know, women can also be the perpetrators as well, don't get me wrong. But if I'm talking about it from a woman's standpoint, because that's the only standpoint I can understand, yes, we don't always speak up about things. We put up with a lot of stuff. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse to the point that you get it normalized. You think that that is the way that things should be. And it's only when you leave and you have that respite period do you go, oh, and I speak from experience. It is not a nice thing. And I will always stand with people who decide to just lay it all out on the table, who lay out all of this evidence and go, this person's crappy. This person shouldn't deserve a platform, because let's be real, this person has over, like, I think he might even be down now, but he had 2 million YouTube followers, okay? In his words, he was a famous internet celebrity.
What's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people.
Okay. Thing is with ImAllexx, and I'll read out a little bit of this because this literally just happened yesterday. So ImAllexx's girlfriend, and I will leave it up here because it's quite hard to take screenshots because it's a Google Doc and it doesn't quite work on my phone very well. But Kirst, who was ImAllexx's ex-girlfriend, originally, he said, she basically said something and she said, I never knew what Alex was. He would often comment on and was making it a point, like alluding to the fact that he knew what Alex was doing to his ex-girlfriend. She then came out and she then said, you know, I was angry that he was making her situation about himself and acting defensive when this should have nothing to do with him. Really sorry if my words were not clear on that. And the thing is that from what I've seen, he just posted a series of maybe like 4 or 5 Insta things, basically just saying he feels really, really heartbroken about the whole thing. And, you know, condolences to Alice. Like, he wasn't making it about himself, but I do have this feeling that a lot of people that did align themselves with ImAllexx, a lot of them did come out. It wasn't just ImAllexx, okay, at all. It was also a lot of other people that also came out and they said that, you know, they didn't realize what was happening because they're going to want to clear their name because they were friends and some of them used to live together. I'm not quite sure who. So then Kerr said, sorry, there is a bit of confusion with my wording. So I just want to clear up that I was saying Fraser knew the type of person Alex is and not that he knew Alex was doing that to Alice. Yeah, so I don't really know what to think about it. I know that then Fraser ImAllexx has then made a great big thing trying to clear his name. So everyone is just sort of scrambling right now. I feel like that has then taken the focus. It's going to take the focus off of what ImAllexx has done so far. We haven't heard anything from him. I mean, his career is going to be down the toilet as we speak. But I mean, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's deeply disgusted with it. And, you know, there were signs from the get-go that he is just like a vulture on YouTube. He just sort of like, I do believe people when they say that, you know, he does then jump on things and make it 10 times worse, because from the little that I've seen of his content, he definitely does do that. Such a shame that it's happened to these girls. It really is. It's horrible. Pretty much all I wanted to say. I might make another video on it if anything else happens. I'm aware that everyone's talking about it right now, but just wanted to give my own 2 cents. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.